Hello everyone, welcome back to Ronnie Explains. For those who are new, welcome. Today's video, I'm going to uh, talk about loops. A loop generally is a tool that we use in programming to help us to iterate actions. Uh, that means that if we want to perform an action repetitively, if we want, for example, to print something continuously on the screen, then we use loops to help us to do that. Or even if we want to scan something repetitively, then we can still use loops. We have three types of loops. We have for loop, we have while loop, and we have do while loops. But for this video, I'm going to focus on for loop being the first type of loop and the loop that I consider the simplest. So very first, I'm going to write for you the syntax of a for loop. A for loop syntax look like this. We write the word for, then we open brackets and we write our starting value. Then we put a semicolon and we write our terminating value. Then after writing our terminating value, we also put a semicolon, and then finally we write our decrement uh, or our increment. So then after that, we now put braces and we write the body. We write the body of our loop, and finally we've finished. So this is how we this is the syntax of a for loop. And very first, I'm going to write an example uh, of a program here using for loop so that we can see how it works. Let us print a statement. In this case, let us say we're going to print statement hello world, and we want to print this statement 5 times. So let us write a program, or rather use a loop that can print for us the statement hello world 5 times. So we're going to write for the way we've done. Then we're going to put our starting value. In this case, in our starting value, we're going to use a variable, and we use letter I a lot in loops. So I'm going to use letter I also. I'm going to say it's of type integer. So I, then I initialize it to a value of 0. Then I say my terminating value, in this case, where this loop should run and end. So I will say that it will be my terminating value will actually be I should be less than 5, and I'm going to explain to you why I want to print it 5 times and I'm saying that it should be less than 5. Then again I put a semicolon and I put my increment. It should be incrementing from 0 progressively towards 5. So I will say I is equals to I plus 1, like that. Then I will put my braces, and as usual I'm going to use the printf tool to show what I want to be printed on the screen. So I will open my brackets and I also put my double quotation marks, and then I write the statement hello world. Then after printing hello world, I want it to always jump to the next line. So I will put /n, then I end the whole string using a semicolon. So that one is done. Let me remove this one. Now, so this is a complete program that is able to run and it can give us our desired results. This is what it means. It means that the compiler will come and check for I is equal to 0. Then it tests if 0 is less than 5. Then it realizes that 0 is actually less than 5, so it will print hello world and then print that line. So it will jump to the next line. Then again it will test for I is equals to 1 and also do the same and print hello world like that. And then it tests for I is equal to 2, then repeat the same process for I is equal to 3, repeat the same process. Then it goes to I is equal to 4 and repeat the same process. But when it comes to I is equals to 5, then it realizes that 5 is actually not less than 5 because 5 is equal to 5. Therefore, that one will not meet the condition and the process will actually terminate. So that is how it is going to work. So if you count the number of times that is going to work, it will go from 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you count all of them, you realize that there are five. Actually, there are five processes that it undergoes. The fifth process is the sixth process is actually when I is equal to 5, and it is not going to be executed because 5 is not 5 is not less than 5. So let us run this program so that we see what it's going to give us. So if you look at my screen, then you notice that hello world has been printed 5 times. Now, I want to give you a short way of writing I is equal to I plus 1. You can simply write it as I I plus is equal to 1, which can still run. Let us try to run it and see. So it still runs, it prints it 5 times. Or you can write it as I plus plus. It also runs. You also realizes that it runs and it prints it 5 times. Or you can write it as plus plus I. So if you run this, then you realize that it still runs 5 times. It still prints hello world 5 times. So that is how you can actually use a for loop to do something repetitively. Now, this does not just apply to printing statements like this, it also applies to scanning something. Whenever the compiler wants to recognize something, then we have to scan. We can also scan something that number of times, and we are going to see that especially when it comes to arrays. Whenever we want to print an array of numbers, or whenever we want to print whenever we want to scan an array of numbers or even print an array of numbers, then we shall be using loops. The most commonly used type of loop is the for loop that we've used here, but we can also use other types of loops, which are the while loop and the do while loop. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. In our next video, we'll be looking at the version of what we've done here, but now in a while loop. Then after that, we shall also look at the do while loop before beginning to look at arrays and how we can iterate our arrays. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please I advise you to do so that next time if I post more educative contents, you will be able to learn together with us. But for now, bye bye.